All right. Let's dive into how some of the biggest names in sports are using acupuncture, to really take their game to the next level. And just so we're all on the same page, we're not going to get bogged down in the whole does acupuncture work debate. There's tons of research out there on that. What we're interested in today is hearing from the athletes themselves. What are they saying? How's it actually impacting their game? Get ready, because we're covering a whole bunch of sports: basketball, tennis, even golf. But first, let's set the stage a bit. Professional sports, it's a demanding world, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. These athletes, they push their bodies to the limit day after day, constant risk of injury, the pressure. It's no wonder they're looking for any edge they can get.
Exactly, and that's where acupuncture comes in. Now, I know what you might be thinking, needles, right? Sounds a little intense, but stick with me here. We're talking about athletes like Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors superstar. His precision on the court is legendary. And what's interesting is how he's actually incorporated acupuncture into his routine.
It's fascinating because when you hear Curry talk about it, he emphasizes how acupuncture helps him deal with the wear and tear of the game. It's not always about bouncing back from a specific injury, but rather managing that constant strain on his body.
Right, because those explosive movements, those quick changes in direction, that's got to take a toll over time.
Yeah.
So how does acupuncture actually help with that?
Well, imagine it this way. Acupuncture aims to restore the body's natural energy flow. In traditional Chinese medicine, it's called qi. By stimulating specific points along these energy pathways, acupuncturists believe they can alleviate muscle tension, reduce inflammation, even promote healing.
So in a way, it's like giving your body a tune-up,
Yeah,
right?
that's a great way to put it. And in Curry's case, it's about keeping those ankles flexible, the muscles responsive, so he can maintain that incredible agility on the court.
Wow, that's amazing. So giving his natural talent that extra boost.
And speaking of intensity, Draymond Green, also from the Warriors, he's another athlete who credits acupuncture with helping him stay in the game. Green's playing style is incredibly physical, and he's been pretty vocal about how acupuncture helps him find that balance. Pushing his limits, but then making sure he can recover effectively.
It makes total sense when you think about the impact his body takes, the constant pounding. You got to have a way to mitigate that.
And that's where acupuncture can play a key role, because it's not just about masking the pain, it's about getting to the root of the problem.
So we've got Curry's experience being like fine-tuning an engine. Is it fair to say that Green's experience is more about making sure the engine is built to withstand that constant high-performance demand?
Exactly. And it shows how acupuncture is not one size fits all. You have to tailor the approach for each athlete. They all have different demands on their bodies, and a skilled acupuncturist can work with them to address those specific needs.
Right, so we're seeing how it's used in basketball. But what about other demanding sports? Take tennis, for example. Maria Sharapova, a force to be reckoned with on the court. She's talked openly about using acupuncture to deal with chronic pain.
And what's really interesting about Sharapova's case is that it wasn't simply about, just staying in the game. It was about improving her overall quality of life. She's talked about how acupuncture allowed her to manage her pain without having to depend entirely on medication. And that can be huge for athletes, especially with concerns about side effects and those strict anti-doping rules.
Absolutely. It gives them more control, wouldn't you say, more agency over their own bodies and their recovery. So how does it actually work for pain management?
Well, there are a few things happening. Firstly, acupuncture stimulates the release of endorphins, our natural painkillers. And secondly, it can reduce inflammation, which is often a major contributor to pain in the first place.
Interesting. So it's not just masking the pain, it's actually addressing the issue. But Sharapova's experience goes beyond the purely physical, right? She's also talked about benefits to her mental game.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really interesting. This is where we see the connection between the mind and body. Because chronic pain, well, it can take a toll mentally. It can lead to stress, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, all of which affect athletic performance.
So you're saying that by dealing with the physical discomfort, acupuncture could actually have this ripple effect, like it improves their mental state too.
Exactly. It's about restoring balance,
Yeah.
When you ease that physical burden, it can lead to more mental clarity, better focus. And Sharapova is not alone in this. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a guy known for pushing himself to the limit, he's also incorporated acupuncture into his routine.
The Rock.
Really?
That's pretty wild. You wouldn't necessarily think of acupuncture going hand in hand with those intense workouts he does.
Right. Well, Johnson has actually talked about how acupuncture is crucial for him, not just for physical recovery, but for his mental well-being, too. And think about it. This is someone constantly pushing his limits, tons of projects going on, all the pressure of being, well, The Rock.
It's a whole other level of intensity, for sure. So what you're saying is acupuncture isn't just for one type of athlete. It's not limited by a specific sport or body type.
That's the fascinating thing about it. It can be adapted and personalized. Whether you're a powerhouse like The Rock, an endurance runner, or even just someone dealing with the stress of a demanding job, acupuncture can offer benefits.
Okay, this is blowing my mind a little bit. We've gone from Steph Curry's ankles to The Rock's recovery routine. Talk about versatile. But it goes beyond just those big names, right?
Yeah.
I remember reading about Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson using acupuncture.
Yeah.
And those guys, they're legends in a sport all about precision, focus.
Exactly. Think about the mechanics of a golf swing. Those powerful movements put stress on their spines, hips, shoulders. Golfers often have back pain, tight hip flexors, wrist problems, things acupuncture might be able to help with.
Wow, I never even thought about it that way. I guess we focus on the big drives, but there's a lot happening behind the scenes to make those shots possible.
Absolutely. And more athletes across all kinds of sports, they're realizing how important a holistic approach is for their health and performance. Acupuncture is becoming a bigger part of that.
It's like they're saying, hey, this isn't some weird alternative thing. This is part of what helps me stay at the top of my game.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about anecdotal evidence here. There's more and more research looking into the benefits of acupuncture for managing pain, recovering from injuries, even potentially enhancing performance.
So it's like this ancient practice is finding a new purpose in the world of modern athletics.
It's pretty cool, right? This blend of ancient wisdom and modern science. Athletes are definitely willing to explore different options to optimize their performance and their well-being, and this is a great example of that.
It really is fascinating to see how it's all evolving. But, speaking of evolving, let's shift gears a bit and talk more about the mental aspect of all this. We touched on it with Sharapova and The Rock, but how does acupuncture actually help these athletes deal with, like, the mental pressure of competition? The stakes are so high, the media scrutiny, it's intense.
It's huge. That mental game is such a crucial part of peak performance. And it's not just about those big moments, during the game. These athletes are traveling constantly, intense training schedules, endorsements, and that pressure to win day after day.
It's like their minds are working overtime even when their bodies aren't.
Exactly. It takes a toll, leads to stress, anxiety, messed up sleep, and obviously all that impacts how they perform on the court or field.
So how does acupuncture help with quieting all that noise, so to speak?
Well, it can be incredibly effective in regulating the nervous system. It helps promote relaxation, reduces those stress hormones.
So it's like a reset button for the mind and body.
Exactly. It's about finding that calmness, that clarity, which is crucial for making those split-second decisions during a game.
Right, when everything's on the line.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just managing the stress. It can improve sleep quality, help them focus better, and build that mental resilience they need to handle the pressure.
Okay, so we're seeing this bigger picture emerge now, right? It's not just about masking pain or recovering faster. It's about making sure both the mind and body are performing at their absolute best.
Exactly. It's that mind-body connection. Addressing both is absolutely essential for athletes to really thrive, both on and off the field.
Wow, this has been an eye-opening journey for sure. We've covered so much ground, from ankle flexibility to mental toughness. So as we wrap up, any final thoughts for our listeners to ponder?
Well, as we've seen, more and more elite athletes are incorporating acupuncture into their routines, and they're seeing real benefits, both physically and mentally. It makes you wonder, could this become the standard in professional sports? Something to think about.
Now, that is a great question. It's been a pleasure diving into all this with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
And everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of acupuncture and elite athletes. Until next time.